What was the incident at your school?
Teacher got fired for posting pictures of attractive underage students on a known pedophile site. The education minister commented on it.
A girl no one suspected was pregnant gave birth one weekend. Her father was a police officer, and before he could break down the bathroom door, she suffocated the child.
A sophomore in high school was filming up girls' skirts and got caught. It was all over the local news.
This made national news in 93-94. My freshman year of high school, a pretty and popular girl got pregnant by her BF. The BF denied it was his, and wouldn't have anything to do with her. She told her mother, and the mother flipped out and kicked her out of the house, and she committed suicide. The Spanish-language channel was doing a graveside interview with the father on live TV. During the interview, the mother showed up to the grave. That's when the father walked to his car, grabbed his gun, and shot and killed her on live TV. The father ran, but was caught trying to get to Mexico, I believe. Going to school was really sad and weird for a while after that. I didn't know her well, but we shared most of our classes together, and that desk that stayed empty the rest of the year was a constant reminder.
In grade 5, the teacher was reading the diary of Anne Frank to the class, and we were all on the carpet listening intently. Things were serious as she explained to us that they were about to get caught. Out of nowhere, Paul releases an unstoppable 7-second fart into the middle of the group. It was one of those farts where it's obvious he'd been holding it while the pressure built. Meanwhile, his sitting on the floor created an exemplary embouchure that trumpeted poor Paul's misfortune throughout the room. It stunk too. We laughed. He cried. We all got a talking to.
A girl in my graduation class got caught sleeping with a gym teacher. He was fired, and she had to leave the school because of bullying. The teacher had a wife and a kid too. Edit, this was in MN and happens a lot more than we think apparently.
Murder-suicide happened in the middle of the street, mid-morning, just a block away from the school. 2 brothers, grown men, one borrowed money from the other and couldn't pay it back. The very next week, someone called the cops about a gang of armed militants marching on the school, and everything was locked down for hours. Some little old lady saw the JROTC team doing their parade drills in their usual spot, at the usual time, with their wooden rifles.
Friend and co-captain of the soccer team brutally murdered his parents. His mom was my English teacher.
The fork incident. My freshman year, 2 red-wearing gangster kids got into a fight for some reason that nobody remembered or cared to even remember, and the 2 started a legitimate fist fight. The fight escalated within seconds, and the other kid stabbed the other kid with a fork. For some reason, all the kids for the rest of my high school years remembered the incident. If a kid was gonna get in a fight, some kid would inevitably say to bring a fork, or give a kid a fork as a joke.
It was my junior-senior years. Between my high school and our rival South School, there were 11 to 13 deaths of students, primarily suicides including suicide by cop pretending to hold a gun to get shot, and by car wreck, kid stole a car and crashed it into another car / died on impact. There was a series of 3 within 1 week. Everyone at the school was really depressed. Students were constantly missing, had to bring in extra social workers and therapists, and teachers basically were powerless to control the student body, and got really lax on school work. The school brought in the survivor who jumped off the Golden Gate Bridge, and we cancelled school for the day to go to the assembly and listen to him speak. Kids just sat in the auditorium and cried and just ditched class. I heard it's gotten a lot better, but no one from my graduating class talks about it anymore.
4 people committed suicide my sophomore year. The CDC came to the school to try and figure out why.
1980s in an Australian high school in a country town. Teachers having affairs with teachers and their partners finding out. One partner / husband chased a teacher that was having an affair with his wife around the school and punched him. Male teacher having affairs with multiple female teachers at the same time and them finding out. Not bad for a school of about 500 students. Who needed drama on TV? We could watch it at school.
A ceiling tile fell on a student. 2 students were found having sex in the girls' bathroom, and they were both dating other people. In 9th grade we spent 45 minutes in world geography class watching our teacher, who was also the baseball coach, chase a cow off the baseball field. 10th grade English teacher Mrs. White forgot the intruder alert drill was just a drill and freaked out and farted quite loudly trying to make a barricade out of desks. No one told her that it wasn't real until the toot.
This thread is too dark, here is my addition. A few kids were having a farting contest in high school and one of them shit himself.
Someone set fire to the school, which led to us having a longer summer holiday. Legends FYI, I live in the UK. It seems every school has an arsonist or two.
My high school's principal was caught on tape during a presentation telling girls not to wear yoga pants if they're not a size 1 or 2 because they'll look like sausages. Made it on national news outlets. Edit, the principal was a female, and the only reason I'm not posting a source is to protect my identity, but a quick Google search of the event places you in a high school in South Carolina, so I don't care too much. Thanks everyone.
A security guard came across a student blowing another, and offered not to tell if they blew him too.
During the school day, somebody set fire to the toilet paper rolls in the men's bathroom. For some reason though, the school was put in lockdown instead of being evacuated. I guess it was because the fire was relatively small and was put out fairly quickly, but it did send my social studies teacher to the hospital since he got hit by a stall door trying to put the blaze out.
Before my time. Some kid brought a nail bomb to school. Told his buddy about it, who thankfully told the administration.
A friend's little brother, freshman, stood up in class and killed himself. He had taken the gun from his oldest brother. Their parents had no idea that there was a gun in their home. He had written a note to a girl saying he was going to do this. She went to her parents with it, they took it to the school. The school did nothing.
Female teacher gets drunk and has sex with a student on a spring break trip to Spain. When we get back, they don't fire her. She spends the next 6 weeks getting drunk and tries to make a run at several of us, me included. And #X200B, she was not invited to return the following year.
Kid found out he couldn't process alcohol at a school party. That is, he found out by dying in his sleep that night.
Bedbugs infested the school. The school didn't notify students or parents till a week after it was discovered. Almost 100 students brought them back to their home. The county ended up paying for the cleaning of all the students' homes, and finally everyone figured out which student initially brought the bugs to school. Poor bedbugs, Bernie.
Someone clogged the toilet by shitting a brick so wide and solid that it filled the circumference of the toilet hole. Like, it was as wide as a Boston cream donut, and a pure solid. The bloodiest culprit was never found.
An innocent kid in grade 10 died in a gang shooting last year.
Student had sex with a teacher, got caught and posted all of the female teacher's nude pics online. Had a couple senior pranks that made the news.
Police shootouts in the surrounding neighborhood. It wasn't uncommon to find bullet marks on the outer walls of the building. I miss Puerto Rico.
Quarterback who was in AP classes and had a hot cheerleader girlfriend. He was truly a popular guy, loved by teachers and super nice to other students. All-star dude. He killed himself. In his note he referenced the pressure several times. Edit, over the past about half hour I've seen several responses to this along the line of if he couldn't handle the high school pressure, good that he checked out before the real world. I'd seriously like you to take a step back and look at that and think about if that's the level of empathy you want to approach the world with.
A sex tape was discovered between 3 students. Maybe one was filming? Don't remember the breakdown. The guy came in the girl's eye and she was known as Cyclops throughout the rest of high school. Not sure how people saw this tape, cause it was like 2004 before smartphones, so it must have been like a physical tape.
Dude fingered his booty hole in front of his friends. Another dude banged his sister a few times. Edit, this got some traction, so let me go into more detail. Booty hole guy and his buddies watched Sex Talk with Sue Johansson. I guess the topic was prostate stimulation. He got ridiculed pretty hard, but I think he handled it reasonably well, until the goofy senior class photo when everyone lifted up fingers as a reference to his deed. He marched to the principal and told the front office what he did and wanted people to get in trouble for making fun of him. Several dozen detentions were issued. The sis/bro hookups always happened on New Year's Eve for some reason. Both were really fat, and it went on for a few years. Everyone found out once she joined an incest support group on Facebook.